Hello, Capricorns, and welcome to this, your February 15th through February 29th reading and predictions. For those of you who are new here, thank you so much for trusting and clicking on this video. And for those of you who are returning, thank you so much for continuing to support my channel. I am this far away from reaching my first level of monetization, but I need a few more subscribers. So if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button if this video resonates for you, I would really appreciate it. You will also notice that I said February 29th. Yes, this year is a leap year. And did you ever notice that a lot of countries, have really important things happening in leap years, like elections? Just thought I'd throw that out there. You might be interested in researching that. All right, stick around all the way until the end of this video, because at the end of this video, I will be doing a little card pulling for answering your yes no question. So if you do have a question that requires a yes no answer and you have not been able to figure it out for yourself and you are willing to put your trust in cards during a general reading, stick around until the end. Now, Capricorns, the last reading that I did for you was rather exciting. I'm just pulling up my notes here, but you had the transformation, also known as the death card, not once, but twice in your last reading. And you had the Seven of Cups come up twice. And the Seven of Cups represents either thinking things will be easier than they actually turn out to be. And it's where you might be kind of getting confused between fantasy and reality, thinking that's where thinking things might be easier than they really turn out to be. So, how are you guys feeling? I love to hear feedback in the comments, but I'm going to pull some cards. Let's see where you're at now. Now, I do have my cards on my left side. Normally, I put them on my right side, which is kind of my receiving side, but my current setup, I didn't have a choice. I have a wall here. All right, where are we going for the first cards for Capricorn? Where are the Capricorns now after having come through a Seven of Cups twice and a Death card twice? Anything else? Yep, and that one's on the floor. All right, so the first card that came out is the Page of Wands. And the second card that's come out is the Knight of Wands. Consecutive cards, despite the fact that they came out separately, as you saw while I was dealing. So the Page of Wands is about stepping out on a new adventure, recognizing that when one door closes, another one opens, and it gives us the opportunity to step out into the world, maybe to make some internal alterations, change ourselves a little bit, the image that we're putting out to the world. Perhaps we have grown to the point where we're no longer hiding who we are or aspects of ourselves. And so if you look at the image on this card, you'll notice that the page is standing at a path and it is a crossroads here. And the page is deciding, which way do I want to go? Am I heading down the path here? Am I going to go this way, this way, this way? There's all sorts of choices and decisions. Now, the Page of Wands may also indicate an opportunity presenting itself for a geographical move or for some travel. That's exciting for you, right, Capricorn? Especially if you've just come through this double death card, double transformation card, and double Seven of Cups from earlier in the month of February. Now, you also have the Knight of Wands, and the Knight of Wands is about taking action on these new ideas and these new opportunities. So, the page is about you're being presented with a new opportunity, a new path, a new choice. You can put yourself forward. It is about creativity. And the Knight, which is the very next card, is about actually walking that path, taking those steps in physical 3D reality. Let's move this thing forward. So let me just take a moment, Capricorns. Tap in. So for some of you, I'm picking up that this is about um, a change or a shift, not necessarily a breakup of a relationship, but a change or a shift in the dynamic of a relationship, which is affecting um, opportunities to be able to move geographically, to be able to expand your horizons, look at things differently. For some of you, but this is a very small minority of you. This is about you, yourself, and your own career. But I'm sensing, Capricorn, that for the vast majority of you, this is about there's been some changing dynamics around you. And this is about you needing to adapt, you needing to change yourself a little bit in order to adapt to a new situation that's being presented to you. Um, because of something that's external to you. Perhaps your partner got a new job on the other side of the country and you're now going, okay, no, so what am I going to do? Am I going to keep my job and ask for a transfer? Am I going to just quit my job? Ooh, can I reinvent myself and start that new business I've always been thinking about? This is the vision that's coming in for me, the messages that are coming in for me. So let's take a look at what you are focusing on as you move into the latter half of February. Where are you putting your energies? What are you working towards manifesting and looking at? I'm getting called that I might be pulling cards from a different deck. Yeah. Let's go over here. The Osho Zen was calling to me. All right. What are Capricorns focusing on for the latter half of this leap year February? Mhm. Okay. This makes sense with what I was picking up between this Page of Wands and this Knight of Wands, and that I really feel like there's something external to you that is forcing you to go within and make some changes and shifts within yourself, including the consideration of potentially a move. And what you are focusing on is your inner voice. This is a card of going within. This card corresponds to the High Priestess in the tarot. It is about our intuition. It is about our connection to the divine. You'll notice here that it's represented that, oops, there's another face here. I'm not sure if that's coming into focus, but it almost looks like the third eye and it is connected to the divine. This represents the connection between our humanness and our spirit and our connection to the divine. This is about us going within. This is about quiet contemplation. Some people call it meditation. Some people do this while they're exercising. Whatever it looks like for you, Capricorn, this is what you're focusing on in order to aid you and assist you in making some choices and decisions with regards to the Page and Knight of Wands that came up for you. Let's go into your difficult influences. Going over here. Difficult influences and challenges for Capricorn as they consider this change or shift, possibly a move, possibly career change, but I want to say um, career change that has been initiated externally. Like it's not like you just walked in had been fed up with work. Um, this is more about career change because something else happened, and it's for some of you it feels like you have your back against the wall. For others, it feels like an opportunity. Now, In your difficult influences, you have the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles is a card I like to call the karma card or the philanthropic card. The Six of Pentacles is a card of, if you have enough, then please share. If you don't have enough, then ask for help. And it is also a card of exploring our relationship with the judgment against those who don't have as much as we do and those who have more than us. Because let's face it, we judge both sides, right? When you're driving in the car, I'll use this as the example and then I'll move on. But when we're driving in our cars, right? Anybody who's going slower than us is a jerk. Anyone who's going faster than us is a maniac. We are sitting in judgment of them because of their choices. We do the same thing with money. We judge anybody who has money as, oh, look at that person flaunting their wealth. And then we look down our noses at someone who has less than us. Oh, why don't they go get a job? Okay. That's what this card is about, Capricorn, is exploring your relationship to your judgments of those who you perceive as either being in a better position or a worse position than you are. This coming into your difficult influences is indicating that this is a lesson that you need to learn in order to be able to make this choice or this decision with clear mind. Okay, this is part of what you're going to be working on with your inner voice, is this lesson of the Six of Pentacles and exploring that relationship in order to be able to move into this. Right? Sometimes the reason we don't change careers is because of this judgment that just came up with this Six of Pentacles. Sometimes we don't make the right career choice because they offered us a little bit less money, and so on principle alone we're not going to take that job, even though it may open more doors for us. Or we may not take a job that presented more opportunities for us and more money because we have abundance blocks. So Capricorns at this time really, really explore your relationship to the give and take that happens in the world. What's your relationship? What are your judgments within that? And that's going to be a powerful lesson for you. Now, the other card that you have in your difficult influences is the Tower. And you are actually the second zodiac sign to get the Tower, or is this the third one? You know what? You might be the third zodiac sign to get the Tower in difficult influences in the latter half of February. The Tower is drastic change, whether you like it or not. It's about that push or that shove that we need to get out of our comfort zone. Is it a bad thing? Oftentimes it's not. It's very uncomfortable, but it's not a bad thing because what the Tower moments do is they allow other doors to close so that new opportunities can come forward, and we don't have a choice but to step into those new opportunities that the universe presents to us because the Tower closed some doors behind us. Okay. So just watch for that coming up. But I think that what I'm picking up, Gemini, is that if you consciously make some decisions and choices, once you have had an opportunity to contemplate this Six of Pentacles information with your inner voice, consult with your inner voice on your relationship to the Six of Pentacles that we talked about, and you consciously make these choices and decisions, I think that your Tower moment will be eased. It won't be nearly as uncomfortable as it could be. Messages the universe wants Capricorn to hear at this time. Messages from the universe for Capricorn. Go through the deck one more time. Messages for Capricorn. No, they fell down again. A couple of the cards turned and looked like they were going to come out, and then they turned and, I mean, everything just fell in nice and neat. Messages, there we go. Messages for Capricorn. There's another card, may or may not come out when I drop the deck. It fell back in. Okay. Messages for Capricorn. Feel joy in all that you do. Okay. Even as changes and shifts are happening, Capricorn, even as this Page of Wands and Knight of Wands is coming in, even as this Tower moment's coming in for you and this change and this shift, feel joy in all that you do. Never judge another. Yeah. And you have make each day count as another message. So as you move through the latter half of February, this is a card indicating don't be resting on your laurels. Don't be sitting back and watching Netflix, especially with both the Page of Wands and the Knight of Wands. Both of them are represented by the element of fire. And what I like to say about the suit of wands represented by fire is that in this particular deck, in the tarot, if somebody lights a fire under your butt, you're probably going to move. Make each day count. Okay. All right. Let's move into your unexpected. Where are we going for unexpected, please? Over here. Unexpected. We're going to the fairy deck. Unexpected for Capricorn. Okay. Two cards have jumped out. Well, one of them just flipped over. I'll have to grab it out of the deck in just a moment. You can see it right here. And we also have another card that has jumped out. And now we have three cards for your unexpected. Possibly four. Okay, we have the Eight of Spring, also known as the Eight of Wands. Ace of Pentacles. And Nine of Pentacles. Interesting. Okay, so in your unexpected, you have the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is about having too many balls up in the air, trying to juggle too much, potentially feeling stressed and overwhelmed. You'll notice the card is represented by having a fairy in the middle here who has all of these balls of light in the air, and she is trying to keep them all up in the air, but she's already lost one over here. So this is a card saying that as you move through the latter half of February, you may unexpectedly at moments feel like you have too many things on the go, like you're multitasking too much. How do you extricate yourself from that, Capricorn? Well, you go back into what you've been focusing on, this inner voice, this high priestess, and take some time for yourself. You have the Ace of Autumn coming up. This card corresponds to the Ace of Pentacles. This is about new beginnings, new money, new job choices, new career. And it's interesting that this is coming up in your unexpected, and yet intuitively, psychically, what I was picking up for you with this Page and Knight of Wands that came out at the very beginning of your reading was that this pertains to you needing to make a change or a shift as a result of an external influence. Someone else in your life is changing. Oh, that just, for some of you, this may be about not just about a partner, but I just had this download that for some of you too, it might be extended family, possibly a parent that needs some help or assistance or care. And so you're considering moving closer to their geographical location, which would also require you to change or shift a job, step into a new opportunity, recreate yourself at this time. The Ace of Pentacles is about new beginnings with regards to career and money. It can also indicate receiving some advice from somebody about that. And you have the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is, again, it's the Nine of Autumn. It corresponds to Pentacles. This is a card of your hard work, your dedication is not going unnoticed. So, for those of you who already have a career but perhaps need to move as a result of either a partner or a family member putting in for a transfer because you've already been doing the hard work, it hasn't gone unnoticed. It is a card also that speaks loudly to self-employment and the potential success that you can have with self-employment. But I do want to point out as well, this being a nine, the nines in the tarot are about work. They are about having put in the work. Yes, most of the nines represent reaping the rewards from the work that you've put in, but you have to put in work. Okay, so this isn't about saying, oh, I'm going to go out, I'm going to move halfway across the country so I can support my mom who now needs more help because she's aging, or I'm going to move halfway across the country because my partner's job was shifted and now I'm going to start my own business and I'm only going to have to work 3 hours a day. I can tell you right now, yes, as a self-employed person who's set up several businesses in her lifetime, ultimately you can get to that point where you only need to work 3 or 4 hours a day instead of 8 or 9 hours a day. But the initial setup, the initial building process, it isn't 3 or 4 hours a day. You're talking 10, 12 hours a day. You're talking about working 7 days a week. You're talking about evenings, weekends, putting in time, making the phone calls, making appointments, doing these videos, all of this type of stuff. And as I mentioned too, this channel, I'm still not even monetized and I have been making these videos for over a year. So please subscribe. There we go, my unashamed plug. But what I'm saying is this nine of autumn coming up with this ace. Yes, this is saying that there's an opportunity for you, a new opportunity for a career move or shift, possibly into self-employment, Capricorns. But it's not, the Eight of Spring comes in. You're going to have to multitask. You're going to have to put in the time and the effort. All right, let's move into your final general overall outcome. And then we're going to move into your yes/no questions. Final outcome for Capricorn, latter half of February. Okay, so we have two cards that have jumped out for us. The first card that came out, oh, are you kidding me? Is the Tower, another time. So definitely there is a huge shift. Something is happening for you right now, Capricorn, and it may feel like your world is collapsing around you at times. It may feel like you're going to be busier than normal, but this is a good thing. This is a positive shift. When you're in the throes of it, it may be uncomfortable. It may be like walking around wearing grandma's itchy sweater that she knitted for you and you have to wear it on a warm Christmas day and you're going, "Oh, get me out of this." But eventually you're going to pull that sweater off. The itchiness is going to subside and you're going to look around and go, "Wow, look at the opportunities." Okay. The other thing that you have in your final general overall outcome is the Hanged Man. So I don't know if I showed you the tower, this tower from this particular deck. Okay. You'll notice that there's a lightning bolt coming in. It's hitting this. And we know that lightning changes and alters things. Anything that lightning hits, it changes and alters its molecular components. So, for example, if lightning hits sand, I don't know if you've ever been to a beach that's been hit by lightning. It is fascinating, but it changes the sand almost into glass. And in some cases, it does turn it into glass. There is a rocky beach that I visit regularly up in Canada. and it gets hit by lightning, and it is absolutely amazing to see the rocks, and you can see how the lightning has run through it and changed the molecular structure. And essentially, that's what these two towers are. You have two towers in your reading here. It is changing you at this time. You are changing, you are shifting. Get called back into your inner voice, and you have the Hanged Man as your final card. This is a card of see things from a different perspective. Okay. When we have tower moments, sometimes we get caught up in it and then, oh, everything is falling apart around me. But the reality is that you can also look at it and go, I just need to get through this one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 minute at a time. And on the other side, I trust that there will be opportunities, new opportunities. There will be new paths and new choices to walk. All right, Capricorn. Yes or no questions? Take a deep breath. You may wish to close your eyes. Ask your question several times in your mind as I shuffle the cards. And we'll wait for a card to jump out for us. Capricorn, yes or no? And we do have one card that has jumped out. I cannot see it. It is face down. Capricorn, in relation to your question, here is your answer. No need to worry. No need to worry. Okay. Capricorns, thank you so much for being here. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. If this video resonated deeply, like I said, please hit that like button and subscribe. Help me to get to my first 500 subscribers. And as well, if you are interested in booking a private consultation, my details are down below. I would love to have the honor of doing your next reading for you at the beginning of March.